On this week's KSP News Show, with Squad getting back to work in the new year, the few smaller details of 0.91 are finally revealed. And Elon Musk, head of SpaceX, gives his views on Kerbal Space Program. All that and more on this week's KSP News Show. Reporting live from the Kerbal Space Center, it's your host, Jinli Kerman. Good morning, evening and afternoon, my fellow Kerbonauts. My name is Jinli Kerman. Wow, this episode is late. I am so sorry. I have had so much schoolwork in the new year to go back to, and I literally did not have time yesterday on Sunday to make KSP News. So this is either going up late Monday night / Tuesday night. And yeah, whenever that is. Sorry this is so late and so out of schedule, but like I say, this is the easiest time that I could do in order to make one of these videos. But we haven't really got much news this week. We have a couple of little tidbits of information, including some overhauled landing gear. But first, let's get some more on that Elon Musk story. Yes, that is quite correct. In case any of you did not know, at the weekend, SpaceX, a private space travel company owned by Elon Musk, who is also the CEO of Tesla, tried to land an empty booster stage of one of their rockets carrying a Dragon spacecraft to resupply the International Space Station on a floating barge in the middle of, I believe it was the Atlantic Ocean, if my geography GCSE does actually do me some grace this week, rather than saying New Mexico rather than Mexico City. It doesn't matter, okay? They tried to land the booster stage on a barge, and they did, sort of. It landed a little bit hard on the barge, and it kind of fell over and landed too hard, and the legs ran out of hydraulic fluid, and lots of bad things happened, and it ended up not going quite as well as SpaceX thought it would. It does bode well for the future, but for a first test, it was a failure, but it does produce some pretty promising results. Elon Musk, though, the CEO of SpaceX, he was on the Reddit forums prior to the launch, asking all different questions and answering some as well from his followers. Now, one Reddit user, clearly a Kerbal Space Program fan, commented on the elaborate nature, shall we say, of what SpaceX was trying to attempt and said, "Glad you're doing things the Kerbal way." To which Elon Musk replied, "Kerbal is awesome." He didn't just say that, he said a lot of other stuff about Kerbal Space Program, including it's what SpaceX use to test their software and all that sort of stuff. More just jokey sort of side, but it clearly shows that the space community in real life is taking note of Kerbal Space Program and some of the ideas that its players are coming up with their missions and their mission plans and what have you. So yeah guys, if you could make any of your Kerbal Space Program spaceships or space missions into real life, what would they be? Let me know in the comments down below, because I'm genuinely interested, because the space community really is starting to look up to games such as Kerbal Space Program and wondering maybe it may just be the right step forward. But anyway, on to the next and probably more Kerbal related news of this week. Overhauled landing gear. Yes, that is correct. Squad on Twitter this week came out and said that they will be overhauling landing gear for 0.91. Now, I don't know if this means plain landing gear, just in particular, or all the landing gears, including the legs in general. I'm guessing at a first glance it's probably just going to be the plain, like, undercarriage wheels, because those things are in a massive need of a revamp, because they are just, they don't work properly. Like, have you ever tried to land your plane and you've had to have so many wheels on it just to be able to land it straight? Even then it sort of like tilts off to a side and a wing falls off, and it ends up just being a very messy affair, providing that you have a somewhat large aircraft like the Mark III parts. Yeah, I'm sure you've all had that sort of experience when flying planes and space planes in Kerbal Space Program, because I know I've had that sort of stuff happen to me all the time, and it's so annoying. So what I hope Squad do with this is implement the new procedural landing gears mod. It keeps with the Kerbal look of everything, with the Kerbal landing gear look. It still looks authentic and it fits in with the look of all the parts that are in the vanilla version of the game. Unlike, say, the B9 landing gear, which perhaps look a little bit out of place. But they offer a bit more user flexibility because the user can obviously choose the height of the landing gear, and also if they want to unlock the steering and if they want to have motors and all that sort of stuff in. And I think that this would just be an amazing addition into the game, because at the moment the other ones at the moment, they're physicsless, they're massless otherwise, because it would cause the planes to spin out otherwise if they had mass, because they are just so heavy. And so yeah, I really want to know what you guys think about this. If you could add, what sort of landing gear would you like? Would you like sort of heavy duty landing gear along with like light landing gear? Would you just like to see the ones we have at the moment just redone and just have one single set that we can use? Or would you like the procedural landing gear mods implemented into KSP 0.91? I just want to get your opinion, guys. Leave it in the comments down below. And so yeah, that's pretty much going to round off this episode, guys. I'm sorry that it was rather fast episode because, well, I haven't had all that much time. And there hasn't already been all that much news this week, but I'm really confident we're going to be getting some news in the coming weeks, and it's going to be really awesome, I promise you. And so yeah, guys, that's pretty much going to round off this episode. My name is Jinley Kerman. As always, stay classy.